You know, I thought I had a lot of rocks. And then my neighbors put in this awesome Rockscape. It's just incredible. I'm going to show it to you in a little more detail in a little bit. So how in the world do you create something like this? I mean, where do you get all the rocks from? Is there a way to do this without spending a fortune? Well, I can tell you just from observation that it helps to have an end loader. It also helps to have a truck, and it helps to have a construction site nearby. Let's take a look at how they did it, what they did, what the rocks are, and maybe give you an idea of what you can do. So they started out with the big rocks. You know, you always start with the big rocks. Put the big rocks in first, and then they filled in with all this other local rock. Now, when I say local, this is the Great Lakes area. So there's a Gogondotillite down here, there's Sharon conglomerate, there's some granite, just like there's all kinds of different rocks in here from the Great Lakes area, some of which I'm sure was brought here by glaciers. In fact, I'd say these great big ones, for sure, they came in with a glacier. And you can tell by how rounded they are that took some energy to round off some of that stuff. There's some really nice sandstone here, and I think the pine trees just add an element of beauty, and the landscaping just works. I think they're not done yet. I think maybe they're going to put in a little bit more greenery just here and there, give it a real organic, natural look, but I think it's just amazing what they've done. Over here, they had this fire hydrant. What do you do with a fire hydrant? Well, you make it look like it's supposed to be there. And then the fire plug just kind of, well, the firemen know where it's at, but it just sort of disappears. So that's the beauty of this. It really adds a lot to their house. Now, having seen all of that, it makes me take a look at this little corner of my yard and think, well, you know what? Okay, I better pull some weeds there, but maybe this area could use a few rocks. Now, I don't have an end loader, but I do have a truck, and I think maybe I could bring in some rocks, maybe dig, so I'll have to call, make sure I'm not digging into a wire, and I don't want to cut off anybody's internet. Clear out an area here and put some rocks in, and I think that might be kind of awesome. Where do you get big rocks? Well, construction sites are a great place to get big rocks. And I happen to be here right now. There's nobody working this heavy machinery, but I do see a few vehicles in the distance, and I'm going to give that a shot to see whether there's somebody that could load up some rocks today for me. Now, these are awesome, but way too big for me. My truck would never be able to handle this. Now, that rock in particular is awesome. I'd like to have that one, but way too big. Over in the distance, there's some smaller ones. I like that granite there that's kind of shaved off. That's beautiful. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. Construction site like this, you might be able to pick up a big rock for 50 bucks. Tip the guy that puts it in your truck $20 or so. A lot of times they just want to get rid of the rocks. $40 a ton though, he said. $40 a ton. Could you find a ton of rocks here for $40 that you like? I could. I like that striped one up there. That's really cool. I don't know how big that is. That black one there is cool. I like that stripy one there, but I think it's just a little bit too big. That one with that big stripe, that wishing stone up there, that's really neat. All right. Oh, and look at this one here. Sharon conglomerate. Nice. Ooh, that thing is heavy. I like it. It's heavy. Can't keep it, but that'd be stealing. Person could stop by and get some smaller rocks, medium-sized rocks, and purchase those for probably next to nothing. That's a very nice piece of what I would call granitoid. There's a very nice conglomerate. Not a pudding stone, but very nice conglomerate. Ooh, I love the way that's laid down. A lot of sandstone here. A lot of sandstone in Ohio. All right, I'd have to wash that off to kind of get an idea of what it was, but it's pretty cool. Now, a rockscape would be a departure from what I ordinarily do. I like to find a very distinctive rock. This one, Illinois. This one, Indiana. Those back there, all were dug up right here in planting these things. I live on a former rock quarry. Another geode here from Indiana, and that's just kind of the way I do things. A rockscape, cool idea. I'm not going to copy my neighbor, but I think they've given me some good inspiration. The guys at the construction site have put me off until next week. I get that. They're under the gun for some things that they need to get done. And so if you're flexible, like I am flexible, then you can oftentimes get a good deal. So there's going to have to be a part 2 to this story. And I think loading those rocks and bringing them on site, that's probably another video all on its own. So stay tuned. I already have my rocks picked out that I want from that construction site. And I'll show them here in a couple of minutes. But if it doesn't work out, if somehow my rocks are gone, that's okay, because my ace in the hole is I have a field that I've been walking, and when I come upon a rock that I like, if I can pick it up, I can throw it off to the side, and I've done that. I have a stash of rocks out on the edge of a field, and when the crops are out, then my pickup truck is going to take me across that field, and I'm going to put those rocks in the back of my truck. So one way or another, I'm going to get some landscaping done around those ornamental grasses. Thank you for watching. Have a great one. Rock on.